hope everyone had a great Memorial Day weekend. In this video, I'm going to go over the stock picks that M1 did based upon my current allocations. If you've been following this journey, welcome back. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe so that you do not miss future videos. Also, please click the like button to help grow this channel and get the word out on dividend growth investing. Getting paid just for owning stocks. This is what dividend growth investing is all about. And this is the first of my bi-weekly video series. So we're going to take a look at the stocks that I bought, and we'll jump into the activity log here in just a minute, but we'll take a look at the performance of this portfolio over the last year. It's up 18.5%. Let's look at the last 3 months performance here, and we'll see we're up 2.63%, and over the last month we're up 3%. In the last week, we've been trending downward nearly 1%. So let's jump into the activity log. And what we're going to look at is those 3 buys. And of course, this is based upon the allocation within my portfolio. And I'll just show you really quick how M1 does that. And it's user based on your slices and the actuals and targets. You can see right here I have 3 different slices within my portfolio, and within each slice there are different companies. I'll leave a link below so you can see what those are, but you can see where the underweighted slice is, and it's right here under my dividend portfolio, which has most of my stocks within it. But of course the majority of the value is in the ETFs, and that's mainly with SCHD, but you can see that portion is right at the target, but the actual here for the dividend portfolio is down 0.4%, and this slice is overweighted, and I'll show you why. And there's one reason why, and it starts with NVIDIA, NVDA. So you can see NVIDIA, of course, has been going like crazy. You can see just over the last month, or actually just the last week, it's up 17%. Let's take a look at like the last year and see what NVIDIA has done, and it's up over 186%. So you can see why this individual company is overweighted, and also just the slice itself, it's just being driven by really NVIDIA. So what we'll do is we'll go back into the activity log, and we'll take a look at those 3 buys that I did, and these will be fractionals because I only put in $100, and we can see the first one is Aflac at $22.21. Aflac is a good kind of a quieter stock out there, but just take a look at the performance of Aflac over the last 5 years, and also check the dividend growth of this stock as well. And then up next is Amgen. This is where most of the money went, $48.10. And then JP Morgan, $29.68. And all of these stocks have pretty good dividend growth. I think Amgen may be on the lower side, I think with 5%, and Aflac is in the double digits. And I think JP Morgan had a pretty good dividend raise as well. So what we're going to do next is we're going to pull some data from M1 here, and we're going to paste this into my Google Docs spreadsheet, which tracks all the positions. I have 53 positions in this portfolio. Everything right now is arranged from the largest position, which is SCHD, almost at that $100,000 mark, and it goes all the way to the lowest position. And again, I'll leave a link below so you can see what percentage I have allocated to each position. It looks like General Mills is the lowest right now. Before it was Pinnacle West, but it looks like they have flip-flopped. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to jump over to my Google Docs spreadsheet, and let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit, 75%, so we can actually see things here a little bit better. We'll move that up. And within this sheet, I'll leave a link below to this as well. So if you have an M1 brokerage account with a lot of positions like I do, I find this sheet works well to really track the positions and show your gain or loss, your dividends as well. But of course, you have to put in some of your own data and look up things like the next pay date for each position, as well as updating like the dividends per share as those change. But you can see here we are in the month of May, so we are in the second month of Q2, and let's just take a look at the dividends received so far, and you can see everything is arranged chronologically. And so far I've received $153.63 from this portfolio, and we can see what's upcoming on the 29th as well as the 31st, and I'm expecting a very large dividend from BST. And what I do is once I receive the dividend, I put it in here, and the dividend sometimes it doesn't match because sometimes I buy things after the X dividend date, and you can see here there's also a disconnect. The 555 is now the estimated dividend, while I received 551 from General Mills, and the reason for this is I've reinvested the dividends back into the position, and you can see like for Verizon, for instance, 5161 is what I received. I reinvested dividends, so the next time if Verizon doesn't change their dividend or increase it, I'll receive $52.48. You can see they just keep going up and up as I reinvest those dividends, and also have 3 more left. And so subscribe so you will see my dividend recap video for the month of May, and I'll show you all the proof in M1. I'll go into the activity log and show you proof that I received those dividends rather than just reading them off of a spreadsheet. And I also show the historicals too and where the portfolio is heading as well. So just to sum up, this shows the market value of the portfolio. Here's my cost basis. Here's my gain or loss within this portfolio. Here's the yield percentage if I were to buy more shares of companies within my portfolio. This is an average, and here's the yield on my cost. You can see it's higher because most of my positions have gone up in value. That's why my yield on cost is higher. Here's my quarterly dividend income with this portfolio, and then I divide it by 3 and I get a monthly rate. So right now the portfolio is netting over $900 every month. Of course, it's not a smooth $900 every month. The first 2 months of the quarter pay lower, and then the third month of each quarter pays higher. But this is an average where I take the quarterly and divide it by 3. And I have a few links here below, like for Seeking Alpha, if you want to look up dividend raises or dividend declarations, things like that. I'm also tracking like SCHDs, their dividend here, and we're awaiting Q2, which is going to be happening pretty soon. And you can see SCHD is up top here, and once I get a new pay date, new dividend, I'll change that pay date and dividend and then reshuffle the deck, so to speak. Once that, I'll just rearrange it, and SCHD will be paying in the 3rd week of June. Same with Broadcom, it will be paying at the end of June. And once those new dates are announced, I will change them and then reshuffle the deck, and then SCHD and Broadcom will be on the bottom at the Junes, end of the Junes. So that's how I do that. But you can see other things it tracks, like the total dividends I've received for each position. You can take a look at like BST. I've received over $6,000 in dividends. The last increase is a 0% because BST has not increased their dividend for a few years. But you can see other positions like Kroger, their last dividend increase was 12% in the double digits. That's nice to see. You can see Aflac as well, where I bought more shares of Aflac, and it's very nice to see those double-digit increases. Same with JP Morgan. They were at 10%. So let's go ahead and we're going to grab some data over at M1. We'll go back to the Holdings tab. We're going to grab everything from name all the way to the bottom. This is going to grab all the information from M1, and it's going to update our sheet. What it's going to do is it's going to update the new number of shares in those 3 positions where I bought fractional shares. It's going to update the average share price and my cost basis for those 3 positions where I bought the fractionals. It's also going to increase this very slightly because there's only a $100 deposit. So the monthly cash flow average is going to go up, as well as the quarterly and annual. And I'm just typing this right here so you can see that it has gone up. And we're going to carry the new number, the new monthly cash flow average, over on the monthly average dividend tracking tab too. So once I paste in the data into the M1 data tab, it's going to change the number of shares, the average share price, and the cost basis for those positions. So let's go to M1 data tab, paste special, values only. It's putting everything in the A column, and then it's going to take the B, C, and D column. Is going to take the number of shares, cost basis, and average for every single position, and it's going to carry it back over to the dividend portfolio tab. Now we can see we're at 901.67 for our new monthly cash flow average. So I'll zero that out, and we'll go over to the monthly average dividend tracking tab, and we'll put in this 901.67. Scroll all the way to the bottom. Here's where we put the 901.67, and this was a $100 deposit. But today is the 28th. We'll put in today's date. And then the prior value was the 901.45. And then we'll find the difference of what we added for dividend income with the $100 deposit. So it added an additional 22 cents, and this is variable depending on which stocks I buy. If I buy stocks that pay a very high dividend today, it's going to it's going to increase my monthly income higher. So it looks like compared to last week, I bought shares of companies that paid a slightly lower dividend today. So it added 22 cents to my dividend income. And we'll take a look at those positions really quick. Like JP Morgan was one of those. So next time I get paid in July 31st, I'll get $6.37. See if you can find the other ones in here. There's Amgen. I believe I bought this after the ex-dividend date, so it's going to be closer to the last dividend, which was $11.87. You can see here. But I will get $12.33 in September, for sure. That's, of course, if they don't lower their dividend. I don't see them doing that, but you never know. But something else that we're going to take a look at too is we're going to go to my dividend tracker tab. I'll just show you kind of some historicals on this portfolio. I've been doing these videos since January 2021. You can see the starting value of this portfolio. This portfolio, just kind of give you some background, I just started it from selling things on eBay and just saving up like my extra money fund, just kind of an allowance to myself. And just over a few years, it built up to this amount. So what I decided to do was to invest it. And when the market was down, especially with COVID and things like that, I kicked in that amount, and that's why we've seen an increase in it. As you can see, the portfolio value is tracked in this column. In this column, all the dividends paid to me. You can see here how it's been going up and up and up. Last month in April, I received $595.80, and we can see April of last year was $540. So you can see I'm getting more and more every year. And here's the dividends received so far in May. We'll see what those are. Again, subscribe so you can see the video where I recap those dividends and show you all those positions that paid me and the proof that I was paid. Here's the average monthly dividend. You can see this has been going up and up and up. One exception is going to be in Q1 with SCHD, where they have their lower dividend. That's a known, and that's okay because it's going to rise above that $40 decrease in the dividend, and it's going to exceed it. We're going to see probably close to $1,000, I'm predicting, in December of 2024. You can see where we're at in December 2023 for my monthly average dividend. And you can see here's the month-over-month gain so far from increasing my dividends by $6.11 just in the month of May. Here's the annual dividend. Right now, the portfolio is paying $10,820 every year. And here's how much I've increased the annual amount in just the month of May. And then I deposited $100, so I'm up to $600 in deposits. And I think the last thing we'll look at is the total net worth of me, of Average Joe. This includes my dividend portfolio I just went over. There's the 242,804, but I also own shares of ETFs at Vanguard. I have an IRA there, and this was mostly money that I just kicked in after tax, or I should say pre-tax, into an IRA. So it's a traditional IRA, and here is after-tax Roth, very small brokerage account there at Vanguard. You can see invested in very boring ETFs, and here's my taxable stock brokerage account, also in boring ETFs as well. Here's my current employer, 401k, mostly in an S&P 500 with Fidelity, and I also have an IRA at M1, once again invested in boring ETFs. I know some people say that investing in individual stocks is dangerous, or you should just be invested in the S&P or total stock market index. I agree. I get it. The dividend portfolio where I have the individual stocks in it is only 15% of my net worth, and most of the what's in that dividend portfolio is SCHD, which is well diversified. I also have an M1 savings account as well. Here's my emergency fund over at Synchrony, and then here's my Capital One, just where this is just short-term savings here, and then of course when I'm paying out the door, paying off credit card, my value every month. Here's my home value, and of course I subtract it out with my mortgage, and here's my current credit card balance, but I do not carry a balance over the month in accrue interest. I pay it off in full every single month. I recommend you do the same if you are able. If you have credit card debt, pay it off as soon as you can. And here's my total net worth statement at $1.6 million. So that wraps up what I wanted to show you. Again, what those three buys were. We'll go back to the activity log, and we'll see those three buys were Aflac, Amgen, and JP Morgan. Last week it was Aflac and JP Morgan. Hopefully we've caught up as far as those being underweighted, and we'll see some new companies jump in. And also at the end of this week, you'll see my 5 picks. I'll pick 5 stocks of my own, and I'll put $20 into each of those. So let me know in the comments below what you think of these 3 picks, and let me know if you have those in your portfolio, and let me know what you're going to be buying this week. Everybody, thanks for watching this video and sticking to the end. Please click the like button if you get value from this video. Also subscribe so you do not miss future videos. Everyone, thanks again, and everyone take care.